A very good afternoon from the Perth Hockey Stadium here at Curtin University. It is grand final day, and coming up first is the Premier 1 Women's Grand Final, which sees Westside Wolves pitted in. So they'll be hoping that they can make it first time successful and be looking to really try and do the best they can and get the result and make their club proud. I'm sure they will do. But as we turn our attention to the league ladder from the end of the season, you'll see just how closely matched these two teams are. Westside Wolves finished top of the table and Hale finished third. But if you look, 11 wins per team, 2 draws per team, and 5 losses they both had. And then the only difference really was that Westside Wolves scored more goals, but then on the other hand, Hale conceded less goals. So it really is going to be a really interesting match. And if you look at the form in the season, well, it was 1 win apiece. So plenty, or very little actually, to choose between the two teams. Well, leading into the match, we caught up with some of the players from both teams to just get an idea as to how they were preparing for today's match. And first, we're going to hear from the coach of Westside Wolves, Will Bias. Well, Will, congratulations on steering the team to the grand final. What is the mood in the camp? Is there a little bit of nerves or is it all excitement?
I think they're very excited about the game of the weekend. I think after last year getting over the first hurdle last week, getting straight into the grand final was a bit of a relief. But now I think everyone's pretty excited, and I think they showed that the weekend. So hopefully getting into the weekend it will be really good.
When you look at the league ladder, it was a very, very close competition. Do you feel that it's going to be a very, very close final?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we've had 2 big games against Hale this year. There's been 10 goals in one and 6 goals in the other. So there should be some goals this weekend. Hopefully more in our favour, but you never know. So it should be a really exciting final for the neutral and also for the fans out there.
I'm sure you've been watching Hale on the live stream, etc., and also in the games coming to watch them. I mean, do you see any strengths that are a real worry, or do you feel you have the strengths that outweigh theirs?
I'm very much a coach that will focus more on how we're going to play and how we're going to defend and attack, sort of thing. So, yeah, 100% they've got a lot of pace and they've got a lot of skill, but hopefully we'll be able to combat that with our strengths, sort of, rather than focusing on how they're going to play.
As a coach, do you remind them that this is a grand final and it's a really big game, or do you just treat it as another game?
I'm very superstitious, so I will do everything that I can to keep it as normal as possible for them. Every Saturday, I'll try and keep it exactly the same so that it's no bigger game. I know that the atmosphere and everything will be huge for them, but I'll try and keep it the same each week, so we just go in and prepare as normal and keep it as normal as possible.
As a coach, then, if you're very superstitious, do you have a superstition that you do before every game?
Well, I like to be in the same change room. I'll always have a lollipop. I'll try and make the warm-up the same. Just heaps of stuff. I'll have beans on toast before a game every week for myself, and yeah, I got loads of those stupid little things.
Well, if it is going to be a close game, I take it you've been practicing for a shootout?
We actually haven't done too much of that yet so far, but we will be doing that tonight and Thursday before going into the weekend. I don't know how. I think some of the girls with the Thundersticks have been practicing them, so hopefully they'll step up. But we will definitely be practicing this week before the weekend.
Well, congratulations on making the grand final and enjoy the experience.
Thanks very much.
That was the coach of Westside Wolves, Will Bias, the Englishman, and saying about he's superstitious before every game. Hopefully he's not quite as superstitious as former English footballer Barry Venison, who said, I always put on my right boot first and then obviously my right sock. Anyway, we're going to move ahead now with the captain of the Westside Wolves, and that is Gemma Buckley. Well, Gemma, grand final time, and you won the minor premiership on goal difference from Suburban Lions and Hale after finishing level on points with both teams. Who were you expecting to meet in the grand final? Was it Hale?
I think so. I think Hale were leading pretty much most of the season, so I knew that they would be a strong team, and come finals time, I think they were full team or full strength going into the game against subs on the weekend, so I think we were expecting to play subs. I mean, Hale, not subs.
If we look at the record, it's incredible. I mean, identical in terms of both had 11 wins, both had 2 draws, both 5 losses, both had 1 victory over each other in the season. So does this mean it's going to be a really, really tight final?
Yeah, I think so. I think we really respect the way that Hale plays hockey. I think they play very similar to us in that, first pass you kind of see mentality. So we have a lot of respect for them, and the team they have on paper is outstanding. So we're looking forward to a really close game.
Having the week off, obviously qualifying straight away for the final, is that something that you feel is good, or is it going to be an advantage or not?
It was a nice relief, to be honest. I think after last year and going out in straight sets, it was a bit of relief to win the first one and go straight through and have that week off. And come down, watch the game on the weekend and see a bit of Hale play. I think it was pretty handy, but we're back into it this week on the turf, and so we should be ready for this weekend.
So having watched them play, do you look at their strengths as how you can negate those, or do you just focus on your own game?
A bit of both. I think we need to recognise Hale's strengths in order to be able to, combat those. But also, we're very much a team that focus on how we like to play, and if we do that, then hopefully we'll come away with a win.
If we look as well, some of your squad were part of the side that won the Premiership in 2015. How important will that experience be going into this game when you consider Hale have never been there?
Yeah, I think it's massive. I think the girls that did win in 2015 remember how amazing that feeling kind of was. And I think you don't come into grand finals very often, so I think everyone's taking that opportunity, to go out there and give it kind of everything they have, because it doesn't come along often. So, yeah.
And what's the feeling around the club? Because obviously there was the disappointment that the men couldn't get there. Are they now 100% behind you?
I think so. I think the boys will be out there in full voice on the weekend, we've heard. So hopefully, the club does get around it. But we have a great culture down at Wolves, so I'm sure we'll have a lot of, fans out there on Saturday.
Well, thanks very much for your time. Well done on getting to the grand final, and good luck.
Thank you.
That was the captain of the Westside Wolves, Gemma Buckley. And as she was saying there, how obviously the week off they were hoping would be an advantage for them, that they can have a little bit of rest, and they were able to come down and watch Hale in their victory over Lions. And that may play a key part, as they will obviously have an idea as to how they're looking to set up. But as she said, a lot of respect for their opposition. Well, we're now going to turn our attention to the opposition, and we're going to catch up once more with South African player for Hale, Linne Milan. Well, Linne, Hale are into their first ever women's grand final. What is the mood in the camp this week?
Oh, a lot of excitement. Obviously, we've worked hard to get to this point, and the opportunity is great for us. So the mood is good, the spirits are high, a lot of chat on our group. So we're very, very excited, and should be a good weekend ahead.
Well, you've had to do it the hard way, playing more matches than Wolves, and you've had to overcome Victoria Park and Suburban Lions. Do you feel those victories have given you some momentum going into the grand final?
Yes, definitely. It's obviously not nice, the situation that we were in, that we had to work a little bit harder. But as I said in the previous interview, quite nice that we had an extra game so we could practice a little bit more. But definitely it's tough playing those games, but it's good because we've worked on a few things. We've addressed some situations in games, and I think that would help us in the grand final, definitely.
Well, certainly in the game against Lions, it looked like you had a second gear, and in the second half, you kind of just all lifted.
Oh, 100%. We started off really slowly, I must say. I wouldn't say I was worried, but in the first 15 minutes, it was we seemed a little bit lethargic, and second half, I actually don't know where that came from, but we just had the second energy, and we just started playing as a team, and we just all brought the energy, and yeah, the results came.
Well, I know earlier in the season you said you're taking it game by game. Well, this is the last game, but have you looked at Wolves' strengths coming into this game, or do you more focus on your own game and what you've got to do right to beat them?
Look, obviously you have to address both. Obviously we've been focusing on ourselves and what we can do to achieve, obviously, the title if we could. But then again, looking at Wolves, you have to address certain things from their end too. They're a very, very good team, very unified. So it will be a tough one, definitely. But if we just focus on our own game and just play like we can play, I'm sure we'll be good.
And is it going to be up to the senior players to sort of settle a few nerves of the younger players?
100%. I've actually had a good giggle the past 2 weekends because some of the young girls have been really nervous in the change room, and even Donnie said with the first prelim final, she wasn't sure if she had to address the nerves or what was going on. So definitely the older girls and the more experienced girls, I think they do help in that situation to settle everyone down. But at the end of the day, we've played 2 big games now, so I'm sure the girls will be good.
And just finally, have you practiced in case it goes to a shootout?
Yes, we have indeed. We've been doing it over and over again, but it's everything that happens on the day, you never know. So yeah, we'll just see what happens on Saturday.
Well, congratulations on getting to the grand final and all the best.
Thank you very much, Ashley. Thanks.
Well, that was Linnae Milan, the South African player for Hale Hockey Club. Of course, she did join the club a couple of years ago and injured her Achilles, so missed the whole season, but has come back with a vengeance and has played a key part in them making it through to today's grand final. Well, it is going to be interesting to see how they cope. They've obviously got a few young players, never been in this situation before, and they will no doubt be a little bit nervous coming into today's game. But it was impressive the way they managed to lift a gear after trailing 1-0 against Suburban Lions in that last match and then powering over the top of them to win 4-1. Well, we're going to turn our attention now to the team lineups for today's match and the players that I think you should be looking out for on both teams. So we turn our attention first of all to Westside Wolves. Well, Gemma Buckley, who we just heard from, is going to be a key. Their captain, so experienced and so important for them going forward. If we also look at her sister, Ellie Buckley, she was the second highest goal scorer in the competition this season, as she has been for the past couple of seasons. And again, she will be dangerous from penalty corners. If we look in the midfield as well, Faye Nash, pushing forward, will be looking to get goals. Rosie Malone, one of their hockey roos, will also be lively and trying to spark something up front. But Ash Faye, wearing number 11 from penalty corners, she too could cause a few problems. Turning our attention to the Hale Hockey Club, well, again, they've got their hockey roos back in Emily Chalker wearing 26 and Mariah Williams 24, and they'll be lively up front. But it was Sophie Taylor, for me, who stole their thunder in the last game, playing in the heart of defence and also being useful from penalty corners. But also Hanny Capel playing her 50th appearance for Hale in the Premier League today. She's wearing number 10, and she will be a very important player. Shares the captaincy with Fiona Cock, but she will be key, and who cannot look past the experience of Madonna Blythe? Well, it will be a very interesting match. There's no doubt about that. Westside Wolves, their last 5 grand finals, they've won all of them. Their last 5 appearances, they've been victorious. This is the first one for Hale, so can they get up in their very first appearance? Well, I'm Ashley Morrison, looking forward to bringing all the action to you this afternoon, and I'm very pleased to welcome alongside me in commentary today, two-time Olympian and a person who was part of the Wasp team that won this title 2 years ago, and that is Kobe McGirt. Kobe, welcome. It should be a great day.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Yeah, perfect day in Perth, and I can't wait. The girls looking ready to go.
Who are the players you feel we should be looking out for? You heard who I think. There's a handful on both sides, but you know, you've obviously watched them a lot closer and umpired some of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Buckleys will be key for Wolves. I think they're the heart and soul of the team, and I think they're very experienced. I think the youthful people in both teams will add a little bit. I think that, yeah, they're nervous, but I believe that they will, you know, bring that excitement and enthusiasm that they're after. And I don't think you can go past Madonna Blythe from Hale. You know, she's the ultimate professional. She's an elite leader. And I think they're well coached with Em Halliday, who's also very experienced.
Well, yes, the coaches, as we mentioned, Will Bias, we heard from him from Westside Wolves, and Emily Halliday, of course, who was just inducted this week into the Hockey WA Hall of Champions, and she is a legendary player for Australia, 186 caps before injury curtailed her international career. But she will be hoping that she can steer Hale all the way. Our umpires for this match are Kimberly Todd, who, of course, again, she's had her problems along the way with health issues in umpiring, but has continued along her path, and congratulations for her getting the grand final. And also alongside her is Sarah Allenson. Well, we're not too far away from the start of this match. And Kobe, as I mentioned, you were here 2 years ago. What would you be saying to your players at this point?
Just believe in yourselves and your preparation and trust in the process. Yeah, I guess I always went on the slant of being, you know, play on intuition. I don't think you can go past that on a grand final. Block out the crowd and believe in each other.
I remember it was the England football manager Glenn Hoddle who said the last thing you tell them is the first thing they forget.
Very true. I'm a through-line process girl. Don't deter from that.
Absolutely. Well, the players making their way out gives us a chance just to acknowledge our sponsors, FMG, the new force in iron ore, Ausdrill bringing more to mining, Danks Furniture, sponsor of Hale as well, proudly West Australian, the Danks difference, Tiger Turf, 3 different systems, unfilled, dressed and filled, and of course Kookaburra, hockey's #1 partnership. We thank them for the support throughout the season and especially today on Grand Final Day, making the live stream possible. Now the players facing the main stand. There's a wonderful crowd here. It's not too hot. There's a chilled breeze blowing across the ground. It's going to get a lot chillier, you feel, later in the evening, about down to about 4 or 5 degrees. And a big day for all those mascots going out there and standing in front of their team. It'll be a moment they'll remember, and hopefully will inspire them to try and get up for their clubs in years to come, and also manage to play in a grand final. Just moments away now, the 2019 Premier 1 Women's Grand Final. Who will be victorious in an hour's time? Westside Wolves, who finished top of the ladder, albeit on goal difference. Hale, who finished third in their first ever grand final. The form that worries me, though, for Hale is the fact that Westside Wolves have kept 4 clean sheets in a row, and they had the worst defensive record in the competition up until that point. So they've obviously worked very hard on their defensive patterns of late.
Yeah, I think their outletting structure, they have a little bit more variety now, but obviously their defensive circle and, defensive 25 structure has been better. They have quality players back there, and I believe now they're really gelling, and they're a fortress to get past this game.
I think I said they had the worst defence, second worst actually. So it was Old Aquinians who conceded a few more than them. So the substitutes coming off after the huddle. Big smiles on the faces of both teams, looking very relaxed actually, so that's good to see. I should just mention while we're talking about that, Hale have not had a clean sheet all season, but they have managed to get results despite conceding goals. So we're just waiting for the umpires. The whistle goes and we're underway, and Emily Chalker just belts it forward, and Hale will look for a high press straight away and get Westside Wolves on the back foot.
Emily Chalker's one of the best in the world, so probably a wise start.
So played out, looked as if that caught a foot, but Linnae Milan collects it, and just a jab tackle coming in from Tegan Gamina. Just went over the baseline. And we do talk about a big day for the players, Kobe, but we should mention the umpires because it is a big day for them. It is a reward for all their work through the season as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think we've got 2 of the best out there today, and no doubt they'll be nervous as well. So, like the players, it takes them a little time to settle as well.
You've been doing umpiring duties now. You enjoying it?
Yeah, look, I probably was a little bit harsh in my playing days on umpire, so now to, change sides has been interesting, but a valuable experience.
I'm sure. Well, it's a fantastic crowd here at the Perth Hockey Stadium as Westside Wolves look to play out of defence, finds Rosie Malone. Malone tries to turn, gets the better of Madonna Blythe. Running ahead of her, just ran through underneath the foot of Gemma Buckley. Still alive, though, for Wolves, and then strong defence, almost stolen inside the circle. Played forward, that's a really good pass, and a short pass inside the circle. Malone doesn't get there, and Madonna Blythe clears. It's back with Gamina now, who goes back to Candice Peacock. Gamina had to stretch, closed down by Milan, but still manages to come up with the ball. What a deflection! Well, it's the opening goal, and it's scored by Wolves. A brilliant deflection just in front of the keeper. It looked as if it was going absolutely nowhere. And that is the opening goal, and just what Wolves would have wanted to start scoring so early in the match.
Yeah, I think that was from the defensive refill. I think Wolves structured really well behind the ball to win it back quickly, and then, early by Tegan Gamina, great hit, and obviously in the right spot. It was a great goal.
It was indeed. Kim Leeper, I think, with the final touch.
In front of her defender.
That'll be frustrating. Just in the 3rd minute of the match. But as I mentioned, Hale are used to coming from behind. And I was actually telling Emily Halliday at the awards dinner, every time that Linnae Milan has opened the scoring against Hale, they've lost. So she'll probably be relieved that that's not the case today. Still a long way to go in the match, but a really telling deflection past Jess Durst. Durst, I don't think, has touched the ball as yet. Jessica Durst playing in her first ever grand final. Capel, as we mentioned, down the side, playing in her 50th game for Hale today. Congratulations to her. Just missed by Chalker. It will run all the way through. Should be kept in play. It is indeed. Ooh. Well, Hale players not happy with that, and in fact those on the grass bank who were in a really good line also agreeing, I think, with Taylor Britton, who looked disappointed. But credit to Sarah Allinson, she was in the right spot to see that one. Williams doesn't get the better, carried forward by Ash Fay. Wolves certainly very busy at the moment as the ball comes back to Gamina. She's had plenty of touches early in this match, Tegan Gamina. That's what you want, I suppose, as a defender, just time on the ball to start with.
Yeah, absolutely. I think settle the nerves and, you know, more possessions. Everyone gets a little bit more composed on the ball and then can make better decisions once things settle.
Gamina again closed down by Koch. Good turn again by Kim Leeper. That's a very well-timed tackle from Mariah Williams. Williams just checking back infield, trying to create some space for herself, but good work coming back and closing her down by Ellie Buckley. Williams, of course, had so long out of the game, didn't she? It was frustrating for her, and she was champing at the bit a year ago to get back involved in the Australian Hockey League and then the Pro League. As Chalker now, good work from her along the 23-metre line.
Yeah, it's good to see Mariah back out there. I mean, she's all class, she's quality. It has been disappointing for her, but the way she's handled herself and, you know, overcome those injuries, and she's back playing some quality hockey now. So I think she will be a real threat today.
She was 8 months out, and then 6 months after they then decided she needed an operation on her adductor muscle. So pretty much a whole year, just over. So ball from the side, the ball now comes, and Sophie Taylor can play it in from the side for Hale. Looks for the diagonal ball, takes a deflection off Leeper's stick. Cox should, no, she's let that one run out of play. Given away though. One back momentarily by Kiara Fakney. And Wolves again have got it on halfway. They got numbers coming forward. A good lead coming from Isabella Selesky. Free hit goes their way. Just leaving that one behind is Scout Regan. Ball thrown to the air. Ellie Buckley chases. Will keep that in play along the baseline. Lays it back to Leeper. Leeper advances towards the circle, and it just catches a foot. First penalty corner of the match goes the way of Wolves.
Yeah, smart play by Wolves. I think they're taking their time to set up structures ahead of the ball and making really good decisions thus far.
Well, again, we said there's nothing between these two teams. Wolves have scored 22 penalty corners this year, Hale 21. So still not much to choose between the two, but this would be a really good time if they could get a goal now to go 2-0 up. They've had in the finals against Lions, they had 1 from 7, so 14% conversion rate. As we see, making her way to the baseline is Scout Regan. Ellie Buckley waits. Comes out, Buckley. It's been missed at the top of the circle. Good defence, Buckley still has it. Found another foot, was it? It was her own foot. So Hale just having trouble at the moment getting their sticks on the ball as Sophie Taylor plays the ball back to Erin Harwood. Over the side it goes. Certainly appears, Kobe, as if Westside Wolves have settled a bit earlier.
Yeah, I think they have. I think their structures, you know, they're quick to set up their structure, they're moving the ball quickly, and they're just actually making the right decisions on the ball at the moment.
Good intercept by Melody Clayton. Clayton always busy for Hale. But it's been one back. Good strong tackle coming in by Peacock.
So again, they take their time on the ball. They set up their structure ahead, stretching the field rather than rushing.
Well, that was off the heel of Ash Fay. But I think we're going to Get the ball from the side. Milan self-passes and accelerates towards the 23-metre line. Stopped momentarily by Gemma Buckley. The free hit goes against Buckley, who looks a little bit surprised, but we're going to come back for a retake. Bryony Boltby now over the ball. Boltby, who hails from York in the wheat belt. Milan trying to turn. Again, Buckley giving chase. That's Gemma Buckley, and Milan gets a free hit just outside the circle. Ball is now played back to Melody Clayton. Clayton closed down immediately by Rosie Malone, but another free hit to Hale. Clayton comes back again, this time to Boltby. Boltby looks to play it down the line. Clayton collects. It's a good block by Malone, and she takes the ball away for Westside Wolves. Through the legs of Boltby she goes. Malone down the line and over the side off the stick of Madonna Blythe. Good covering defence by the experienced campaigner. Well, there were plenty of goals when these two met earlier in the season. It was 7-3 back in May with a victory to Hale, and then 4-2 when Wolves won that game. So there might be a lot of goals today, Kobe.
I think that's what everyone on the hill would want today. Make it exciting.
Brought down now inside the circle by Scout Regan. She tries to turn. She's won another penalty corner. That was very clever play by her. Good turn, stayed calm.
Yeah, lovely play. I think, yeah, very composed in the circle. I think that's all you want as a coach, is to, you know, do the simple things really well. I think sometimes we overcomplicate it, but that was, you know, well played by Scout.
She will once again inject. Ash Fay waits at the top of the circle. Ash Fay has scored 8 penalty corners so far this season. Comes out. Fay flicks. Good save from Durst. Rebound goes back to Wolves, though, but they couldn't make it count.
Unfortunate. It was on target. I thought it was off the post there.
I thought Durst got a hand across and just blocked it down, but Jess Durst, of course, the boyfriend is Aaron Kleinschmidt. He was saying he'll frequently go down to training and hit balls past her. I was thinking that's not much help, is it?
Must be good for their relationship for sure.
But he did tell me that she went in goal because she was not a very good outfield player. But apparently he's planning to play outfield next year.
Is that right?
So there's a scoop for all you Hale fans. That one just a mix-up again from Hale down the right-hand side. Just seemed to be a miscommunication. Heading into the final 5 minutes of the first quarter. That one goal scored early by Kim Leaper. The difference between the two teams at the moment. I don't know if you saw the game against Lions, but Hale were a bit like this in that game, and then they managed to just find their mojo in the second half and just clicked.
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, exactly. I think, you know, with the mentality of the coaches, Madonna Blythe and Em Halliday, they're never going to lie down. So I think Hale will take a while to settle today, but they will be there and thereabouts, and then I think watch this space at the end. They'll come hard.
And we should also just give a shout out, I think, to their regular team manager, Marge Knapp, who can't be here at the moment. She's over in Spain, as that was lifted inside the circle, and it was off the stick of Buckley into the body of Mariah Williams. First penalty corner of the match now for Hale. And they've scored in their finals matches 3 from 12 attempts, 25% conversion rate, slightly better than Wolves. So this might be a chance for them to get back on level terms just before the first break.
Yeah, obviously Taylor's a threat, Madonna Blythe for deflections, and Mariah Williams running in as well. Yeah, I think deflections will be probably on here.
So Taylor Britton to inject. Waiting at the top of the circle is Sophie Taylor. It's a good block. Taylor takes a touch, hits it low. Good save, but it's gone up off the pads there of Beckett Frisch. So retake. Creating danger as the ball rebounded back. Can they do it this time? Mistrap at the top, comes to Taylor now. Trying to feed the ball back to Capel. Capel's done very well. Plays it towards goal, appeals for the ball coming off the shin of Gemma Buckley, but the free hit goes to Wolves, and turning into trouble there was Sage Rogers-Uff, but she'll get the free hit.
Yeah, both times they're mistrapped on top of the circle, which isn't ideal. Something that they need to focus on as they move forward.
Is that nerves, do you think, or?
Potentially, yeah, number of things, technique, nerves. But yeah, in a grand final, you need to make the most of those opportunities.
Rosie Malone charging down that clearance, and Madonna Blythe again having to clear up at the back and save the embarrassment of Danielle Dodd. That's a good ricochet to Mariah Williams, who can now run at the defence. Mariah Williams accelerates into the circle. Was she pushed in the back? Well, it was a slight touch. She went to ground, and a penalty corner has been awarded. Well, the arguments continue. Madonna Blythe has to step in.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Faye Nash is arguing there. Absolutely a corner. Excellent to see Mariah Williams running through the field on angles, eliminating Ash Faye at the back there with speed, with control, and obviously creating that corner.
And to me, there was no doubt that was a penalty corner. So once again, Taylor Britton on the baseline to inject. This time, though, it's Fiona Cock at the top. Mistrap once more by Capel. Ball just ricocheting up off her stick, plays it to Clayton. Clayton tries to get it into the circle, but again, it's going to be an easy clearance for Westside Wolves. Well, there's so many components you have to get right from a penalty corner. The pace of the ball being injected has to be right. The trapping has to be right. And just at the moment, not happening, but Madonna Blythe on the ball now for Hale. Nice little body swerve from her. Feeds it to Mariah Williams. Williams on the backhand. Good save in the end from Beckett Frisch, and it will be another penalty corner as the ball ricocheted off her mitt and made it dangerous. So good pressure from Hale.
Yeah, last 5 minutes, Hale have really, had sustained pressure in the front third there. I think the key playmakers, Madonna Blythe, Mariah Williams, etc., on the ball at the moment and creating these opportunities.
Well, Fiona Cock again. She has played, of course, for the Tassie Van Diemen's and won a premiership with Derwent Hockey Club in Tasmania. Can she get one here in Western Australia? Can she get a team level? Annie Capel picturing concentration. She traps better this time. Strike is a good one. Good save as well. The rebound was blocked, and it's a free hit the other way. And in the end, that was good defence from Ash Faye. It's going to be a long corner. Ball comes back now to Faye Nash. Nash will be relieved that no goal was scored. Ash Faye. Comes to Faye again. Manages to pull away from Chalker. Then releases the ball out to the left-hand side, and Wolves close down quickly. Ball collected by Faye Nash. Nash was almost playing herself into trouble, and then Madonna Blythe stole it. Chalker back to Madonna Blythe. Nash involved again. Needs to be careful because she might get a card for her team. Now it's Milan breaking forward. Good tackle. Kim Leeper takes it off. Nene Milan. Milan, who was telling us in the interview that obviously her brother playing cricket for England. She's played hockey for South Africa. Her middle brother, Charles, feels a little bit left out. Apparently he was a very good cricketer, but he's a mechanical engineer now and probably earning more than maybe both of them.
I think he's made a wise choice.
But I believe he is tuning in watching this match, so don't feel bad. Capel gets it under control at the third attempt, finds Milan. Milan with a little bit of space, cracks it in, looking for a deflection. Well, the deflection came, I think, off the stick of Taylor Britton, but maybe just went into her own body.
Yeah, I think it was the right idea from Milan to get one of those chaos balls into the circle. Unlucky, but I think they're really threatening at the moment and creating a number of opportunities.
Madonna Blythe again gets it after good work bomb. Cock up in the air it goes. Going to break for Chalker. Chalker under pressure inside the circle. Surrounded by Wolves players. And she's appealing for a penalty corner. slow to get to her feet was Faye Nash, who's been involved in a lot in this first 15 minutes.
Yeah, you expect that from Faye. She's a competitor. She's physical. She's, quick to complain to the umpires as well. So you've played against Nashi, that's for sure.
Well, this will be the last play of the first quarter. The hooter goes. That is the end of the first 15 minutes, and it's been, well, a seesaw really, because Westside Wolves came out of the blocks really quickly, and they put Hale on the back foot and managed to get an opening goal from Kim Leeper in the 3rd minute. But since then, Hale have come back. As we go into the first break, it's Westside Wolves 1, Hale 0. Welcome back to the Perth Hockey Stadium. It is the end of the first quarter as we see Westside Wolves listening to their coach, Will Bias, down below. And I'm sure he'll be a little bit frustrated, Kobe, the way they finished that quarter.
Yeah, I think he'll be reiterating they started well, making the most of their opportunities, but they need to be better structured defensively earlier, and they need to make sure they're clearing the ball in better spaces rather than creating turnovers.
Well, it's going to be an interesting second quarter. Can Hale come back? Can Wolves stretch their lead in this grand final? We'll know in 15 minutes' time. But in the meantime, I'd just like to thank our sponsors, FMG, Ausdrill, Danks Furniture, Tiger Turf, and Kookaburra. Hooter goes. It's now up to the umpires to blow their whistle. Emily Chalker over the ball again. And I'm sure her family back in Crookwell will be tuning in as well. Husband Dom is in the crowd here cheering her on, as he always does. Good work down the left-hand side, that time from Sage Rogers-Uff. She plays on, tries to go infield. Good touch from Madonna Blythe. Chalker collects. Chalker takes a tumble as the ball managed to roll through to Brooke Corbett. Corbett, of course, her 2 goals against Victoria Park, making a big difference again as they had to come from behind in that match. Milan cutting infield. There's a real wall of red and grey in front of Milan as it's now carried forward by Harwood. Sophie Taylor has to go back to Harwood again. Patience is the key here for Hale. And just getting the angle wrong there, Danielle Dodd.
But already you could see more intent with Hale. They're trying to hold the ball, trying to possess, obviously structure up rather than just forcing it. And you could see some more aggression from Sophie Taylor, etc.
Well, it's a lovely ball and a good collection from Brooke Corbett. She's lost out now. Gemma Buckley up the line, and Capel could have let that one run. Instead, she's given possession to Ellie Buckley just inside Hale's half as she advances into the shadows. Capel tries to steal it. Buckley keeps going. Leaper just showed too much, and it was a really good tackle coming in the end to just take that away from her. Kamina finds Gemma Buckley. Gemma Buckley takes a tumble after a strong challenge from Linnae Milan. Kamina goes back to Ash Fay. Buckley again causing problems around the top of the circle, but the free hit goes the way of Hale. Erin Harwood goes square to Capel. Shadows lengthening here, and Capel's just got her angle wrong and puts a hand to her face in frustration.
Yeah, a couple of errors there from Hanny. Unusual, but obviously grand finals do that to you. I think she just needs to stay a little bit more composed, communication from others to, enable her to make better decisions.
Sometimes, isn't it, you make one mistake and you're still thinking about it. It makes you make another one, and you just got to shut it out your mind. Milan. Good ball from her. Finds Brooke Corbett. Corbett trying to return the pass, but that was brilliantly cut out. And, ooh, a little bit of afters as well, as Rosie Malone now carries it forward. She's dispossessed by Capel, looks to win it back. And it's off the foot of Annie Capel, so it'll be a free hit to Wolves. Making her way forward is Candice Peacock. Comes to Peacock again. Peacock was just involved with Corbett off the ball. Telling touch, took it away from Malone for a second, but through the legs of Capel. It'll be another free hit to Westside Wolves. Candice Peacock from the side. Short passes, giving possession straight back to Hale. Chalk up was a very awkward pass to try and get under control. So it's been an interesting start to this second quarter. Neither side really having the ascendancy. It's been a little bit scrappy.
Yeah, a few more errors this quarter, which is, you know, to be expected. But obviously, you know, I think just move the ball quicker, transfer the ball to the help side earlier, and just pass on time.
Well, that's a good collection by Ellie Buckley. Everyone thought that was going to run out of play, but she managed to get there first, and good tackle coming in from Fakeney. Will be a free hit, though, to Westside Wolves just outside the deep. In fact, it's just outside the 23-metre line. I thought it was a little bit further forward, personally, but doesn't matter what I think. Faye Nash now, unfortunately, lifting it straight into Gemma Buckley.
Wolves are really congested there in the circle. I think they need more depth and obviously more width earlier.
Capel and Gemma Buckley stepping ahead of Madonna Blythe. Madonna Blythe, though, plays on quickly. Finds Chalker. Chalker, good pass again, forward into space. Having to come back and close her down is Tegan Gaminer. His lovely turn coming from Clayton. Clayton got inside the circle, but just went over the baseline. In fact, it's a free hit, I think, to Hale, just outside the circle. Smith, or rather Chalker, Emily Chalker, playing on with things quickly, and a penalty corner won by her.
Yeah, well done by Chalker. Smart. Could see her experience there. Saw the space on the baseline, opened it up, and, you know, executed really well.
Fifth penalty corner for Hale, and we're only 6 minutes into the second quarter. Can they convert this one? Sophie Taylor is up there. Madonna Blythe alongside her. Annie Capel. She's the one looking to do the trapping. Taylor Britton injects. Capel brought it under control, played it straight into the shins that time of Candice Peacock.
Again, another mistrap. I think they'll be getting extremely frustrated now, Hale. They've created, you know, four out of 6 now are mistraps, I believe.
Would you change your stopper?
I think you persist in a grand final. But yeah, just make sure everyone's ready on the second phase.
So Capel again, can she get a clean trap? She does this time. It goes to Madonna Blythe. Madonna Blythe plays it square again to Sophie Taylor. Good work coming out, closing down from Chloe Pendlebury. Another penalty corner, though. This pressure, you feel, has to tell at some point.
Look, I think if they get it away, Sophie Taylor to Blythe or Milan on the left side.
And it comes again. Good trap once more. Taylor this time cracks it, but it's high. And a little bit of pain for Gemma Buckley. And I think that's probably like a dead leg. Or maybe it was a little bit higher on catching her on the hip bone.
You know one thing, though, that won't stop Gemma. She will play until the very end.
She, of course, has been the Diamonds co-captain with Kate Denning back in 2017 and has been a good servant to Westside Wolves along with her sister. Catching the foot of Leaper, free hit to Hale. Madonna Blythe says, I'll take it. Everybody spreads off around her. Blythe slowing things down. Played into the circle. The deflection initially coming from Faye Nash and cleared upfield from Westside Wolves, and it goes out for a 16. Danielle Dodd, south passes, advances. And again, it was a tricky pass. Gumina now from the sideline. As the hill on the far side really begins to fill up and everyone enjoys the beautiful sunshine here at the Perth Hockey Stadium. All they need is some Danks furniture on the far side and then they'd be really comfortable. Mariah Williams now looks to take it on. Pulled Gumina one way, then the other. Slight hand in the back coming from Ellie Buckley. Ellie Buckley, who was 4 times All-American when she was at the University of Virginia. Only 11 players have ever managed to do that, so some achievement.
She's classy, is Ellie. She knows how to score a goal and is always... I always found her really annoying to play against because she's always thereabouts and tackling you quite ferociously.
Just dispossessed edge of the circle. Taylor Britton looked as if she was running in. And I think Ellie Buckley must be so frustrated there that there's a player called Chantal Chilella around who just keeps pipping her every year for the Jackie Pereira Top Goal Scoring Award.
Look, Shani is phenomenal. Her ability, she reminds me of Jackie Pereira back in the day, just knows where the goal is and pops into space at the right time.
Ball comes wide now to Dodd. Dodd feeds it forward to Mariah Williams. A heavy touch from her, though. Saw it ricochet off her stick. Malone now turns and heads forward. Really good, strong tackle coming in from Dodd on the reverse stick. There's a little bit of spite going in, you feel, in some of those tackles. What a pass that was, and great defence, just dinking that by Faye Nash onto the foot of Corbett.
Good by Nash, but I feel like Hale need to transfer the ball and get it to the right side. They're very left-sided at the moment.
Gumina had to stretch for that pass and couldn't keep it in play. Puts her hand up in apology. Maybe just was on her heels a little bit. Now Mariah Williams attacks. Gets between 2 players. Looks for a foot. Found a foot. And a penalty corner is awarded.
Just the outletting there, the basics from Wolves, letting them down there. Great transition from Hale to create another opportunity.
Is this the moment for Hale? 6.5 minutes left in the first half. Madonna Blythe in that huddle giving instructions. And maybe she's stepping forward and saying, I'll take this one. Now the defence taking their time, getting behind the goal line.
Long 40 seconds.
Very long. Madonna Blythe now, top of the circle. Britton injects again. Madonna Blythe cracks it towards goal. Good save initially from Frisch. And the return shot coming in, unfortunately for Corbett. Not going to be any good, and it's now a chance for Scout Regan. She's dispossessed. Good tackle once more coming from the defence of Danielle Dodd. That just caught the foot, but breaking forward is Zaleski. Not surprisingly, Hale not giving the ball back to Wolves. I don't blame them. And that's gone wide of Durst's goal. 2 balls on the pitch. Dodd was looking to go short to Madonna Blythe, but as you said, Ellie Buckley just lurking, ready to pounce. She just gave that signal as if she was going to go.
She reads the play really well, does Ellie. As I said, she's really difficult to play against. She has a really, innate ability to get to contests.
Just if you've just joined in, Hale playing in their first ever women's grand final here in Western Australia. And Westside Wolves, who've won the most title, 14 in all, have won their last 5 grand final appearances. So the pressure on Hale at the moment. Wolves are the favourites and they have the lead at the moment, courtesy of a 3rd-minute goal scored by Kim Leaper. Good deflection after the ball was played in from wide from Tegan Gumina.
Perfect start for Wolves it was. It's always hard for Hale to be on the back foot from the 3rd minute down, but I think Hale have gained a little bit of momentum now.
Well, they got the ball through Mariah Williams, but Rosie Malone comes back and robs her Australian teammate. Up in the air it goes. Both teams appealing that it's their free hit, and well, the umpires disagreeing. So obviously give Hale the chance to get back behind the ball. Must admit, I thought it came up off Mariah Williams' stick.
Yeah, I saw Will in Kimmy Todd's ear, which probably didn't help with the communication of the umpires there.
Of course, the umpires are wired up nowadays, and does that help a lot when you're down there?
I'm still very old school and don't wire up, but I know that the elite wear them, and I believe it's very useful.
I must have been in commentary sometimes at international tournaments. We can tune into the umpires. I find it a bit distracting at times.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm trying to make a decision and yet someone's talking in my ear. It's too hard for me.
Having the umpires and a director and listening to your co-commentator, there's a lot going on. We are just over 3 minutes away from half-time. Sophie Taylor down the line. Good lead from Chalker, but she let it run. I think she thought that coming across that Chloe Pendlebury was going to just get a touch on that. But Pendlebury very cleverly just let it run. Westside Wolves looking to eat up time. Chalker closed down really well. Pendlebury that time. She just took a touch so the ball was in play. Hence Chalker could move into that space. Boltby. Buckley again annoying. Just getting a stick in there. Played on quickly by Milan. Milan has managed to find Chalker. Chalker looks to give the ball back to Milan. Milan trying to turn inside the circle but left the ball behind. I was going to say it would be harsh on Wolves to say that they're hanging in this game, because there's been plenty of pressure from Hale, but they haven't really threatened inside the circle.
No, I think Hale have had far more opportunities than Wolves at the moment, but just not making the most of them.
And it comes back probably to what you were saying pre-match, that the experienced defence of Westside Wolves standing firm at the moment. And of course we should remind them they have 4 clean sheets in a row, so that's fantastic in anyone's book as the ball breaks again for Hale. Good defence, just stepping out, taking the ball away, dribbling it out of defence then was Faye Nash, who's been involved in so much in this match, some good, some bad. Across the circle it goes. Blocked by Madonna Blythe, but it will be a free hit to Westside Wolves.
Yeah, I think Nash is working hard to get to contests, and then behind the ball you have Pendlebury, Ash Faye and also Gmina setting up really well and making those intercepts and you know, denying Hale at the moment.
Lovely steal from Madonna Blythe. She just timed that to perfection.
She hasn't lost it.
She's playing cricket now, I believe, as well. And I think would be, if she's got timing like that playing cricket, she's going to be pretty good.
From all reports, she hits them quite well, as from what I've heard.
There've only been a few dual internationals, cricket and hockey. Jonty Rhodes was one of South Africa.
Rick Charlesworth?
Yep. He never played internationally. He was 12th man, but never actually was selected for the Australian team, but went on as a 12th man here in Perth in a test match. But played, obviously, Sheffield Shield for Western Australia. Mariah Williams still trying to spark something, gets a free hit. We're into the final 20 seconds, so Hale, if they're going to get a goal before half-time, need to hurry up. Into the circle it goes. Madonna Blythe surrounded by Wolves players, and it's swept over the sideline by Gemma Buckley. Capel needs to get it into the circle. She got underneath that, and it's lifted, and that will be the final play of the first half as the players come out of the sunshine and head down to the changing rooms. It's been a lively first half. Wolves, having taken the lead, have been pursued by Hale, but at the moment they've stood firm defensively, and Hale just haven't been clinical inside the circle. So as we go into half-time, it's Westside Wolves 1, Hale Hockey Club 0. Welcome back to the Perth Hockey Stadium. It is half-time here in the 2019 Premier 1 Grand Final, and Hale are trailing by 1-0. That goal scored by Kim Leeper in the 3rd minute. Kobe McGurk, it was the ideal time to score really for Wolves because they've just allowed them to settle a bit, but then Hale have really come back at them.
Yeah, I think it was an important start for Wolves. I think since then, though, Hale really have had the ascendancy. I think they've, made some good plays. Though to be disappointed that they haven't, made the most of those opportunities and converted corners.
Well, as you mentioned, the corners there, they've had 8 penalty corners in the first half. I mean, that's a lot of penalty corners. They had 10 against Lions, but managed to get 3 goals.
Yeah, I think it's going to be something at the forefront of their conversation in the dugout, and I think they will look to change and maybe bring back the Halliday, which is the take right hit.
It's going to be interesting how the second half pans out. I mean, what would you be doing if you were either coach, I suppose? Because Will Bias, I'm sure, would be very happy with his defence, but would feel his team still need another goal to be assured of victory.
I think both coaches will be saying similar things in the fact that I think some people are overplaying. I think the basics were quite poor in that second quarter. So I think it'll just be simplifying what we're doing, playing to the space and transferring the ball earlier and making the most of the opportunities that we have.
As we were saying before the match, nothing to choose between these two teams in the regular season. And even if you go back over the last 3 years, they've played 6 games. Hale have won 3, Wolves have won 3. Wolves 13 goals, Hale 18 goals. But one of the key things for me is Ellie Buckley, 5 goals in those 6 games. She hasn't got one yet today, but you just get the feeling every time the ball comes near her, she's likely to score.
Yeah, the thing with Ali is she only needs one sniff, and she's always threatening, and I think she has been lingering around at the moment. And like you said, if she gets one, then I think Wolves probably will get that victory.
Well, Hale players coming out, and now the Wolves players as well, joining them down below. Is there a way back for Hale? Playing in their first grand final, can they make it a 100% record in grand finals? Can they stop the run of Westside Wolves, who are playing in their 6th grand final, having won the last 5 they've contested? Second half about to get underway. Madonna Blythe, the last player out. She's allowed a little bit longer these days.
Yeah, she's earned it, I think.
So Wolves get the second half underway. The crowd have certainly been entertained. Ash Faye. Faye looking to just carry the ball forward. Comes wide, infield it goes to Leeper. Good ball from Pendlebury, over the side though. Madonna Blythe steps ahead, Mariah Williams on her heels. Chalker though, with her stick turned round, couldn't get that one under control. Those are the ones that they really need to stick at the moment. Melody Clayton, always busy, looks to close down. Carried out of defence well, though. Good work again from Tegan Gamina. Gamina over halfway, gets the ball over the side.
Yeah, I think Gamina's taken the game on today. She's made a couple of important intercepts at the back. She's transferring the ball well, and they're trying to be aggressive.
Tegan Gamina, who of course hails from Wagen in the southwest of Western Australia.
The big ram.
Yep, not too far from your part of neck of the woods, is it? Is Milan now into the circle she goes, and that took a deflection up off the stick. I thought of Ash Faye, but no, it is off the back of Milan's stick. Just the parabola of the ball giving the telltale sign that she didn't get right underneath it. And Leeper tried to bring that under control. Mariah Williams plays on quickly. Gemma Buckley inside. It's a good pass to Britton. Britton into the circle. She was looking for the foot, didn't manage to find it. And Gemma Buckley over the baseline it goes. Long corner, looking to take it quickly is Sophie Taylor. Taylor closed down immediately by Rosie Malone. Malone takes a tumble. Still going to be a Hale ball though. Sophie Taylor once more, a little touch, plays the ball to Mariah Williams. Williams forced out of the circle, managed to find that was too high apparently on Faye Nash, so the free hit went the way of Wolves, and now bursting through the midfield is Sage Rogers-Uff. Unfortunately, she just played it behind her captain. So a few errors creeping into the Wolves game. Ash Fay will bring that down. Milan tried to close down, but Fay now gets the chance to go out wide. Gemma Buckley on the ball. Looks to feed that one forward to the lively Roger Zuff. In the corner, stolen away, but just admitting the foul was Danielle Dodd. That should be an easy collect. It is for Candice Peacock. Short pass to Fay. Peacock again. Straight down the middle. Good lead from Ellie Buckley. So nearly got that under control and almost got around Harwood, but Harwood cleaning up well at the back. Now it's Milan. Milan looking to take on Gamina. Milan managing to find the foot. It'll be a free hit to Hale. There's another go. This time, though, it's a really well-timed tackle from Gamina. Capel collects that, but Madonna Blythe says, I'll take it from here. Feeds it out to Sophie Taylor. Oh dear, that was deflected off Kim Leaper, and it looked as if it caught, I think, the wrist.
Nash.
Yeah, Faye Nash helping that. She wouldn't have seen that at all before it hit her. Oh, she's down for a while. Hopefully she is going to be okay.
She probably just needed a breather, the old girl.
Well, she's grin-missing. That's a really well-timed tackle in the end, coming in from Rosie Malone. Malone bursting over the 23-metre line, chased by Chalker and Madonna Blythe, and she will get the free hit. Madonna Blythe goes to have a breather on the side. Chalker finds Mariah Williams. Mariah Williams just again not getting that under control. Showed too much of the ball and Pendlebury pounced. Williams and Pendlebury both hitting the deck. A smile as they get up. Smiles for different reasons though. Nice turn from Rogers off again. Leaper. Two Hale sticks and Chalker just knocking that past Rogers off. Cock has missed it, but it runs fortuitously for Hale, but that's way too far ahead of Mariah Williams. She's quick, but not that quick.
Yeah, I think both teams here, I guess they're gaining good ground and getting good opportunities and then just not sticking the final pass, which can be quite frustrating for coaches and I think the players as well.
Coming into this grand final, Wolves had won their last 4 games. They fifth game before that, they'd lost 4-3 to Suburban Lions. Hale won the last 3, 2 of those being finals games, and they'd lost the 2 previous to that, which really was the reason they slipped from first to third on the ladder. Into the circle it goes. Good defence though. Collected by Sophie Taylor, pushes it forward into the path of Cock. Cock is trying to feed it forward for Mariah Williams, but good defence again. Timing that tackle superbly was Pendlebury.
Yeah, I think Pendlebury is one of the best tacklers in the comp. Williams has the speed, but Chloe there had really good position and really was really composed.
Comes wide again. Sophie Taylor trying to go past Leaper. Wolves appeal for a free hit. Taylor continues, and then Ash Fay just gets a stick around, gets a touch, and wins it for Wolves. Rogers off now. Decision goes against her, just off her foot there. Madonna Blythe. Out wide to Sophie Taylor, getting more involved, but again showing too much of the ball, and Pendlebury stepping across, collecting it. Stolen back, though, by Taylor. Tries to feed it through, but Pendlebury there again, and over the side it goes. It's all a little bit narrow.
Yeah, I think the ball just has to be swung to the other side earlier.
Chalker. Another good deflection from the defence of Wolves. Chalker self passes, tries to go down the line. Good work again by Wolves, and Rogers up, goes to the air. Madonna Blythe just plucks it down and feeds it forward. Infield it goes, but well read again, this time by Ash Fay. Madonna Blythe stops their progress. Halfway through the third quarter. Hale still looking for an equaliser. This may be the chance. Madonna Blythe looking to advance. Releases the ball, top of the circle. It's going to break nicely for Milan. Milan on the back stick, just past the post. That was close.
Good build-up. Madonna Blythe there, really smart with her attack on the circle. Great people in the right positions in the circle, and a near miss by Milan. I think Hale will be happy with that build-up.
It's probably their best that we've seen so far, in that they actually were making the passes. Milan again. Oh dear, that was lifted again. Just not getting low enough. Apologises to Ash Fay. Fay collects, accelerates away. Milan steals it back, tries to cut infield. She's managed to get the better of Fay and feeds it forward now to Cock. Cock tried to just get past Peacock. Peacock was sniping away at it, and good block coming in from Gemma Buckley, but it falls in the end for Fakeney. Into the circle was a good defensive block in the end. I think it was Gamina got the final touch to concede the long corner.
Really good composure there by Fakeney to make that pass into the circle.
Boltby to Milan. Milan just left the ball behind for a second, and Gemma Buckley was able to close her down. Goes into the circle, penalty corner, and disappointment from Wolves players. And for once, they're actually having a bit of a discussion with the umpire.
For once.
Well, they've tended to accept them, Kobe, and you just wonder whether the pressure's beginning to mount. So Fakeney making her way down to inject for this one. So Cock and Taylor waiting at the top of the circle. Chalker doing the stopping. Madonna Blythe just off to the left-hand side. Stopped by Chalker. Taylor takes a touch. Good save from Beckett Frisch. Sophie Taylor still has the ball top of the circle. Was looking for a foot, appeals for a foot just outside. We don't have video referral. I thought that was actually on the line personally. Umpire, though, had to look through a sea of players. Wouldn't have been easy to spot that one. Sophie Taylor goes back to Bryony Boltby. Now it's back to Dodd. Dodd plays it wide. Annie Capel carries forward. And it's another foot just outside the circle. Capel played almost a blind pass to Madonna Blythe, and coming across Madonna Blythe there was Selesky. Blythe tries to play it into the circle. Leaper wins it back for Wolves, and now Malone, a little bit of space, dinks it forward, but gives it straight back to Hale. Luckily, she gets a pass back. Capel played it onto the foot of Malone, and it will be eventually a free hit. Madonna Blythe looking a little bit frustrated down there below us. We're in the final 5 minutes of the third quarter. Hale still searching for an equaliser. Chalker, up in the air it goes, and that will be a penalty corner. Wow. Chloe Pendlebury stepping into that space and making it dangerous, and Hale have their 10th penalty corner of the match. Is this the moment, Kobe?
I'm sure Hale would be hoping that it is. I guess their 10th corner, 4 minutes in the third quarter. I think they need to get on the board, scoreboard pressure to get back into this game.
So Cock and Taylor waiting again at the top of the circle. Chalker doing the stopping. Madonna Blythe to the left. Linne Milan to the right alongside Brooke Corbett. Chalker stops. It's driven towards goal. Rebound was a good shot, came in from Fakeney. And in the end, it's Ash Fay who clears it over the side. So good defence. It was a good sharp save initially from Beckett Frisch.
Great penalty corner defence there. The goalie's doing really well, and also the second phase there from all defenders.
Beckett Frisch, of course, who has played internationally for Canada. Hale's from Calgary, Alberta. She actually used to play ice hockey until her mum made her decide which game she should take up when she was in year 12. She says, at the time you made up your mind, which one you're going to play. And that's gets the crowd on their feet, the diagonal pass. Well, Jess Durst has had very little to do since half-time. It's been all Hale. But they have still failed to find an equaliser. Sophie Taylor closed down by Malone. Just pushed the ball past her, but Leaper will collect, and Taylor beaten by Leaper. Malone kept the ball in play. Got the better of Mariah Williams, but the good defence again by Danielle Dodd, who's been solid at the back for Hale. Madonna Blythe again, just lulled everyone into a false sense of security. Ricochets off the foot. It will be another free hit. Ball was played away, so a green card issued to Ash Fay. Can't really argue with that one. It was quite a while after the whistle. Another free hit. We're in the final 3 minutes of the third quarter. Hale still searching for an equaliser. Good square pass to the left-hand side. Into the circle it goes. Across the circle it'll come. Mariah Williams. And the whistle's gone. It's a free hit to Wolves. And anywhere will do, as that was just belted up the field by Tegan Gaminer.
Yeah, I think that shows how Wolves are feeling. Try and relieve pressure for a little bit and try and set up structure to I guess, nullify Hale's attack.
Well, they conceded early, but Hale have been in this match all along. They just haven't been able to finish it. Credit, though, to Wolves' defence, which has been very solid. Not really allowed them any clear opportunities. Played over the side off the stick of Fiona Cock. And that, well, no touch. The free hit is gone the way of Hale. Complaints from the Wolves players. Must admit, I didn't see a touch. Madonna Blythe, a little bit of space for her now as she advances. That was played straight into the foot of Faye Nash. Faye Nash claiming Madonna Blythe has stolen a metre or two. Mariah Williams got a touch, and Beckett Frisch has kicked it out, but it's a penalty corner. Well, if ever they wanted to score, it would be now, with just under a minute and a half left in the third quarter. Would just give them a momentum going into that final quarter.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think really smart there by Madonna Blythe. Gained a couple of metres, really good decision and the pass into the circle, and again another opportunity and a moment that's, I guess, Hale need.
And we have Mariah Williams off to the left-hand side. She often makes a dart in there for the deflection. We've seen that earlier this season as Madonna Blythe is now doing the stopping. Cock moves to the left-hand side, so it's Taylor who will beat Mariah Williams. Makes the run towards Mariah Williams. It was aimed, and it's laid back by Taylor Britton, but Wolves get the free hit, much to the consternation of the Hale players. Well, if you're a Wolves player, I would think you haven't got many fingernails left at this point in time. So Danielle Dodd will try and start things again from the back as we go into the final minute of the third quarter. Up it goes, but, well, it's going to be a Hale free hit. Madonna Blythe wanting to get on with things quickly. Plays it wide. Harwood now gets to carry, feeds it to Taylor. Taylor closed down by Rogers Uff. Taylor found a bit of space. So close to a touch coming at the near post from Fiona Cock.
Yeah, so Sophie Taylor's had a great game. I think, she's creating that attack now at right half. I think her tackling's been, really good as well. And I think she's slowly but surely coming into the game and threatening out wide.
And there is the hooter for the end of the third quarter. So we're in exactly the same position we've been at the end of the first and the second quarter. That one goal scored by Westside Wolves in the opening quarter, still the difference between the two teams. It is Westside Wolves 1, Hale 0. Welcome back to the Perth Hockey Stadium. We are half a minute away from the final quarter of the 2019 Women's Grand Final. Westside Wolves leading by 1-0, but they've been under immense pressure from Hale. The question is, can Hale find a goal and maybe take it into extra time, sudden death, or even a shootout, or can they even find more than one goal? Well, you feel Wolves maybe need a second. Just before we get this underway, I must thank our sponsors again, FMG, Ausdrill, Danks Furniture, Tiger Turf and Kookaburra. So it will be Wolves to get the final quarter underway. They've been hemmed inside their own half for most of the third quarter. It's not been easy by any stretch of the imagination as the ball is pushed back by Ellie Buckley, who just looks as if she might be hobbling a little bit there, but hopefully she's okay. Comes across to Danielle Dodd. Dodd, who's been the linchpin at the back for Hale. Comes wide, Sophie Taylor. Deflected up off the stick of Kim Leeper. Sophie Taylor plays it to Mariah Williams. Mariah Williams first time, but lifted it up. Ash Fay taking that for the team.
Better lateral movement though by Hale. You can see what they were trying to do, just a error and poor execution there, but the intent was there.
Closed down. Over the side it goes there, off the stick of Melody Clayton. Just a slip by Leeper. And it caught the foot of Dodd. So Wolves get the chance to plough it too far ahead of Gemma Buckley. If this is the final score, you just wonder whether Hale are going to look back on it and think about all the missed opportunities around the circle.
Yeah, I think they will, but I think, you know, this game's not over yet. I think if one team can string 3 or 4 passes together, you know, I think we'll have a game on our hands. At the moment, it's just a lot of turnovers and basic errors.
Faye Nash, not surprisingly, entering into another discussion with the umpires. Good pass to Chalker from Madonna Blythe. Good running from Taylor Britton. It's into a path from Chalker. Great defence, Rosie Malone coming back, just pinching that away. But Milan's got it back. Unfortunately, she couldn't find Taylor Britton. And into the foot it goes of Britton. Good play once more by Tegan Gamina. Milan will collect that one for Hale. Malone gives chase. Milan puts the ball ahead of herself, takes on Tegan Gamina. Gamina sticks to her like a shadow. And now Malone, a slightly smaller shadow, gets behind Milan. Stepping out though, good defensive work coming there from, I think it was Naomi Brown, was it?
Peacock.
Peacock, it was Peacock, thanks. Leeper, and strong coming together with Taylor. Milan, well, she's back doing defensive duties now, gets the ball to Mariah Williams, who slides past Gemma Buckley. Ball comes now to Melody Clayton. Clayton Tries to go infield. Good block coming in that time from Faye Nash. Nash again. That was all stick. No appeals from Hale. Ellie Buckley tries to help it down the line, and Leaper collects, finds the foot of Madonna Blythe. We've still got just under 12 minutes left. Hale trying to press a little bit higher. Ash Faye throws to the air, but Madonna Blythe and Mariah Williams getting in a mix-up there and coming off the thigh of Mariah Williams. Britain looking to close down Peacock. Ball goes out wide though. Gamina and Milan come together again. Milan gets the free hit from the side. Plenty of support on that side for the Hale side as Madonna Blythe comes forward. Feeds it now to Mariah Williams, who just overran it.
You can see Madonna though, Madonna Blythe getting involved. You know, she's taking free hits on the sideline, in the middle, all over the park at the moment, really trying to ignite and inspire a team. Unlucky there, but again, getting the ball to the other side quickly is what they need to do.
Chalker closing down, and Milan just stepping ahead of Rosie Malone to steal possession back from Hale. Malone was flat-footed. That's a good tackle though from Gemma Buckley. Milan though somehow got the ball back, now feeds it back to Harwood. Harwood pushes it forward to Capel. Lovely turn from Taylor Britton. Britton advances to the baseline, looked to try and dink it onto a foot, but was unsuccessful. And now it is a free hit, and once more we see Wolves just cracking it forward. They're working extremely hard defensively, and it's taxing mentally, I'm sure, Kobe.
Yeah, it's just that one moment that you switch off that normally you get scored against, but you know, at the moment again, Hale just have to find a way.
Gemma Buckley plays it over the side. Well, Sophie Taylor's so frustrated. She wanted to take that quickly, and then a ball was rolled onto the pitch, so she had to get rid of that one. Into the circle it goes. Good intercept, though, once more coming from Faye Nash. Good skills from Nash, but over the side it goes, off the stick of Gemma Buckley. Now it's Mariah Williams who says, I'll have a go from the side. Small touch. Heads towards the baseline. Plays it towards the circle. It was lifted up just outside, and I can understand why Hale felt that should have been play on. That was a little bit, there was no danger when it came down to Sophie Taylor, but the whistle had gone, and now it's Mariah Williams. She gets a push in the back, and that will be a penalty corner. Clumsy challenge that time coming in from Chloe Pendlebury. Is this the moment? Everybody on the far side in front of the Hale hockey banner, bleed blue, sheltering their eyes from the sunshine, but their eyes are focused on the pitch. Taylor Britton once more heads to the baseline. Sophie Taylor has Fiona Cock alongside her, and Hanny Capel is back in stopping duty. Stop, Taylor takes it into the circle, looking for the deflection. Hit the foot again. And so it will be another penalty corner off the foot of Pendlebury. 13th penalty corner. Is this the one where Hale get it right? Capel has to move across and didn't trap it, but she's got space to accelerate towards the circle, takes a tumble over a stick, and it's desperation clearance over the side. Sophie Taylor, short pass from her. Fake knee now. Fake knee tries to cut past Buckley, did well. Fake knee just lifting it into the circle. The ball breaks and up it goes off the stick of Mariah Williams, but no whistle. Malone won't keep that in play. Well, you almost think Hale pitching their tent on the hill on the far side. They should have put it in this up part of the pitch. Another free hit. Chalker comes across, self passes. Was that 5 meters? Probably just, and then she's won a penalty corner. Well, the law of averages, Kobe, says one has to go in.
Look, with that many corners, if you're not scoring, then obviously you're going to be extremely disappointed. Just try something different at this stage. 8 minutes to go in a grand final. I think something different has to come.
Faye Nash just got a card. I didn't see whether that was 5 minutes or was it 10. I'm not sure. She's come off, so certainly she's got 5 minutes. So Wolves now down to 10. And we have just over 8 minutes left in the match. So this is a real advantage now for Hale, who've been pressing so hard. Faye Nash, though, just having a word too often with the umpire. So now it's Fiona Cock who steps forward. Taylor alongside her. Good trap. Cock drives it. Brilliant running by the first runner. That was great work from Candice Peacock. But unfortunately, as they look to counter-attack, they give the ball away and push it over the side. So it's back with Hale, and they've got a numerical advantage at the moment. Capel playing her 50th match in the Premier Grade for Hale. It's not a good pass for Taylor to bring under control. Malone ran at Taylor, and Taylor just helped it over the side. So Malone from just inside her own half cuts back towards the centre of the field. Good work from Taylor Britton. Has to force her to play the ball backwards. It goes again to Pendlebury. Hale with a high press. Chalker working hard. Pendlebury again over the ball. Good deflection this time from Taylor Britton. Comes to Britton again. And that was off the hand of Pendlebury. Would have stung a little bit. And Wolves won't mind how long it takes for a ball to come to them. Pendlebury leaves it, Ash Faye, and over the side it goes, off the stick again of Britton. Faye just helping it down the line. Madonna Blythe steals it off Rosie Malone. Looks to get the better of Gemma Buckley, and Faye closed down that avenue, so she had to go to Taylor wide. Malone blocks, but over the side it goes. Need to try and use the width of the pitch. There was a deflection, I thought, off a foot. Hanny Capel now, just in the small part of sunlight on the far side. Feeds it forward. Mariah Williams could cause trouble from here. Just needs to get the ability to turn and run at goal. Good defence, though, from Kim Leaper. Forcing Williams away from goal. Another good block. Into the foot, though. Free hit to Hale.
Hale circle entries. They need to shorten it up rather than looking to hit long all of the time.
Mariah Williams is in there. Good defensive work from Kim Leaper. Mariah Williams has stolen it back. Williams still going. There's sticks on the ground, and the free hit into the circle it goes, and at the back post, just Chalker was there, but it went behind her. We are not far away from the final 5 minutes. And if Wolves do hang on, wow. It's been a defensive effort of huge proportions.
We always knew they were strong at the back going in, but, you know, they're showing it at the moment. But Hale have been relentless in their pressure. In the games like this, though, one will come. I can feel it.
Well, they're going to need one fairly soon. Good pressure was applied there by Faye Nash, who's back out there. So it must have been just a green card then. Must have been 2 minutes, not the 5, I thought. Sorry for misleading you. I thought I saw a yellow card, but Rosie Malone. Over the side it goes once more. Erin Harwood. Malone blocks, and that's stayed in play. It'll come back to Malone. Here's danger. Well done, Danielle Dodd. Sophie Taylor comes in from the flank. Malone gives chase, and Nash gets it onto a shin pad. Has, again, more to say. And I'm not quite sure how she got the free hit for that one when it hit her on the shin pad. But anyway, possession has gone back to Hale, but Madonna Blythe couldn't get on the end of that, and Gemma Buckley steps forward. We're about to enter the final 4 minutes of this grand final. Hale have had so much possession. Dodd, mistrap from her, has to keep it in play. Doesn't want to concede a long corner. Goes wide. Capel looking to feed it forward. Good defence, stepping in front of the attacker. One back though, good defensive play coming from Brooke Corbett. Now Mariah Williams gets the chance to burst through the middle. Malone gives chase. Mariah Williams now just feeds the ball back. Sophie Taylor cuts infield again. Now pushes it wide to Madonna Blythe. Madonna Blythe was scanning what was available before she received the ball. Off the hand it goes, or the stick of Faye Nash. Long corner, Madonna Blythe over the ball again for Hale. Can they find a goal from somewhere? Caught the stick of Rosie Malone, and Ash Faye collects and then lifts it into Malone on the 23-metre line. Madonna Blythe steals again at half a metre. Annie Capel looks to play it in. Ash Faye got a good touch edge of the circle and then impeded by Mariah Williams. Now Malone receives the ball in space, gets the chance to run at Harwood. It's a good pass as well. Goes wide now, and Selesky leaves the ball for Kim Leaper. Leaper just about burning up some time. 2.5 minutes left in the match. Faye Nash, great block from Madonna Blythe, but time is now the biggest enemy for Hale. Madonna Blythe places the ball on the side. Pendlebury comes forward. She'll eat up again. Valuable seconds over the ball. Self-passes, drills it towards the circle. Gemma Buckley couldn't get it under control. Taylor tried. Buckley tries again. It's ricocheted off the stick, and it'll be a free hit to Wolves. Ash Faye places the ball. We're into the final 2 minutes. Into the circle it goes. Good strong defence from Mariah Williams. Free hit awarded to Hale. They need to move the ball quickly. Annie Capel has to make sure she finds her teammate now. And it was again deflected by Faye. Coming out of defence, just a transfer, or a turnover rather, that could be very, very costly for Hale. Corbett tries to press high up the pitch. Chalker tried to steal it, but didn't get enough of the ball. Comes wide now to Malone. Malone pushes it forward. Capel loses out, stolen back by Selesky. Now it's Gemma Buckley. Gemma Buckley takes it into the corner. She'll eat up time. Up it goes in the air. Free hit goes to Wolves. Buckley looks at the scoreboard, sees that there's just over a minute left. She's saying to everyone, calm down. Takes a touch. Plays it to her sister. Stolen and played on by, oh no, we're going back. Sophie Taylor wanted to get on with it. The ball person just kicking it in the wrong spot, which will frustrate Hale. We're into the final minute. It looks as if Wolves are going to lift the trophy and continue a marvellous run unless Chalker can change things. Plays it forward, Milan into the circle. Milan, as Beckett comes out, ricochets to Mariah Williams, cleared over the side, and a free hit is given to Wolves. And there's a debate going on with the umpire. Hale are not happy. The clock continues to count down. And Ash Faye taking her time, saying that the Hale players must be 5 metres away. Played out wide, they'll just eat up time, and into the corner it goes. Stolen though, and a free hit, but there's no time for the free hit to be taken. It is going to be Westside Wolves Day, and Hale will look back on all the opportunities that came their way, that they just couldn't be clinical inside the circle or with their passes into the circle. Kobe McGurk.
Yeah, look, I can't take it away from Wolves. They defended relentlessly, but I think that's one that Hale will, forever be ruining. It's a chance that got away, but Wolves have won the Premiership, and they won it off the back of some great defence and amazing goalkeeping.
They did indeed. It was fantastic defence from Westside Wolves to keep them alive in that match. They defended for so much of the game. And Hale, well, they just could not convert any of the opportunities that came their way. It looked for a second in that final minute when the ball came to Emily Chalker that she was going to spark a last-minute equaliser.
Look, the ball couldn't have been in any better hands. Blythe to Chalker, to Smith and Chalker, same people these days, and then to Milan. So they're three of the best for Hale, and it was just unfortunate.
It was indeed. Well, Wolves can celebrate, and celebrate they are. Big smiles on their faces, but Hale, well, they're going to think what could have been and maybe even what should have been. But what a record Westside Wolves have. Their 15th title now in the Women's Premier 1 grade here in Western Australia. And that is their sixth grand final in a row that they've played in that they've been victorious. The final score in this match, just to confirm it, is Westside Wolves 1, Hale Hockey Club 0. And that goal coming from Kim Leeper in just the 3rd minute. It was a deflection, and there was really nothing Jess Durst could have done to keep that one out. It was a brilliant deflection. She just stepped in front of the defender.
Yeah, I think, more just unlucky. I think Wolves, they got that one early, and from thereafter there hasn't been too many goal-scoring opportunities for Wolves.
Well, the Wolves players now just taking the applause of their fans, and hopefully we'll have the presentation shortly. Of course, we'll find out who's won the Shirley Lease medal, which is for the player of the match. Shirley Lease, who was a life member of Hockey WA. She was an umpire down in Busselton in 1957 and moved to Perth in 1971 and served on the WA Women's Hockey Board, retiring in 2008. Well, plenty of support for Westside Wolves, as you can see. The men's team down there cheering on the women, and it looks as if, I'm not sure if that was champagne or beer going in the air. I think, judging from how little there was, it was beer and not champagne. So the trophy waits on the table down below as we wait for the players to make their way back to the presentation. And the Wolves players, well, they had to work so hard for that victory. A really gritty performance, and one that was full of immense concentration, as defensively they were really hemmed inside their own half and did very little attacking. I don't think Jess Durst had a single save to make in the second half of the match, whereas we've got to give credit to Beckett Frisch. She had some crucial saves to make in goal for Westside Wolves, and Tegan Gamina was rock solid at the back. Chloe Pendlebury too, having a really good game defensively and making sure that they didn't concede any goals, and certainly didn't concede an equaliser. I just see down below, Rebecca Greiner is also down there. She missed out on the final, but has played her part in the Wolves story in 2019. Well, it's been a great season when you have a competition where the top 3 teams all finish level on points, and the top 3 places are decided purely on goal difference. You know it's been a great year. And of course, Westside Wolves finished top of the ladder. They had 35 points and a goal difference of plus 14. Hale, who made it into the final, they also had 35 points and just plus 9 goal difference, while Suburban Lions had plus 13 in second spot. And Vic Park were several points behind. So I think we're about to have the presentation get underway very shortly. Not surprisingly, a big smile on the face of Gemma Buckley, the captain of Westside Wolves. She's been a Wolves player through and through, part of the Wolf Pack as they're known. And another premiership goes their way as they just managed to edge Hale. The players now posing for a team photograph down below as the Hale players make their way out as well. And obviously disappointment on their faces, but they can be proud. It's their first ever grand final, and they certainly gave a good go of it and were in the match throughout. Just the 1 goal the difference, and they just couldn't find an equaliser no matter how hard they persevered. I think we're ready now to get things underway as more photographs taken with the Westside Wolves players. Winners are grinners, they say, and certainly big smiles on the faces of the Wolves players. You've been there, Kobe. It is great when you win, but it's horrible when you lose.
Yeah, I've been on both sides, with Pirates and Wolves, and yeah, it isn't great, but I think you have to celebrate successes, and Wolves today have had a great season and worthy winners.
Absolutely, but there's certainly plenty for Hale to be proud of in that, they only came up in 2017. They've made their first ever grand final, got further than they've ever been, and now maybe they've still got something to build on just to get across the line.
Yeah, I think Kane Greenaway was one person I know who was instrumental in, building a base and recruiting appropriately, and then their grassroots players and, quality that have come into the team from the junior program that he started has been quite phenomenal.
Well, there's certainly some talent there. You just wonder how long Madonna Blythe can keep going as well, because she is a key cog for them.
Oh, I think Madonna can play for years ahead yet. As you get older, you get smarter, and, she's already one of the smartest players I've ever played with, so I think she's got a few more years in it yet.
Well, the umpires now just receiving their mementos. There's Kimberly Todd and Sarah Allenson. But there was not too much contentious in that match, really, if you look back on it.
Yeah, look, there's always a few, calls that get questioned, and in the heat of the moment, I think some get questioned harder than others, but, ultimately, two of the best umpires in WA today out there and giving it their best.
Absolutely. I'm sure that both teams will feel that there were some didn't go their way, but that's the nature of sport.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure Faye Nash would debate it for hours.
Probably still tonight at 12, or tomorrow morning at 1 a.m.
She certainly had her opinion on a few decisions throughout the match. But that just shows what a competitor she is. We see down below the presentations being made. Just waiting, I think, for the announcement of the Shirley Lease medal. But as a final, it was a really cagey affair, wasn't it? There was, as we expected, in such a tight season, there was so little to choose. I
think it was always going to be like that, especially in a grand final. But, I mean, Hale really did play their hearts out after that 3-minute goal that was scored against them.
Well, there we go. The goalkeeper has won the Shirley Lease medal and will be presented with that by Nola Besant, life member. And that's a huge moment for her.
It could only really go to one player. She was unbelievable. Hale dominated that game, and she kept them in it.
A credit to her. I mentioned, obviously she switched from ice hockey to field hockey, but she also decided to go to the University of Maine in the USA because she felt she needed to progress her game, and so she upstick, left Canada, and then obviously progressed as a player, and now she's here and has won the biggest honour you can in a grand final in Western Australia.
I think they're the good stories that you want to hear.
Well, I'm not sure we can hear those speeches being made, so it may be time for us to bid you farewell. I think we've had a fantastic final. Kobe, thank you for your company today. It's been a pleasure working with you once again.
Thanks for having me.
And congratulations to Westside Wolves, who are the victors in the grand final of the Women's Premier 1 Grade 2019. One goal was the difference, scored by Kim Leeper in the 3rd minute. Westside Wolves are the premiers for 2019.